Hello everyone, my name is Zeotrax, and today we will be tackling the original Suicide Squad released in 2016, directed by David Ayer, starring Margot Robbie, Will Smith, Jared Leto, and Jai Courtney. Suicide Squad was the live-action debut of tons of DC characters, such as Deadshot, Killer Croc, and most importantly, Harley Quinn. The plot centers around Amanda Waller, who grabs 7 of the most elite criminals to take on a force that will possibly have them killed. If they disobey her in any ways, she will activate an explosive that will kill them. The Suicide Squad, which I actually did a review off of recently, I'll put a link down that in the description below, was by far my favorite DC superhero movie. It was funny, entertaining, and it knew what it was, a dumb, silly comic book movie. That being said, however, I believe this movie is an absolute pile of dog shit. The movie's main problem is that it doesn't really have a plot. It's kind of just people going around, beating each other, shooting bad guys, and yes, that can be entertaining, but the movie tries to take itself seriously, acting like it's the end of the world, and yes, the threat they do face is pretty scary. And the characters outside of Harley Quinn are honestly just kind of trash and forgettable, which is the same, since I believe that Will Smith, Margot Robbie, Joel Kinnaman, and Jai Courtney are good actors. And I believe that Margot Robbie, Joel, and Jai were pretty good in the Suicide Squad. One of the best parts of the second movie was that Rick Flag was a good leader. He cared about Harley Quinn, he cared about his team, and it made it more sad when he, spoiler alert, bit the dust. This movie has him just be a complete a-hole who is so insufferable to watch. It also delivers the worst line I have ever seen for Katana.
This is Katana! She's got my back. She can cut all you in half with one sword stroke, just like mowing the lawn.
And speaking of Katana, she could have been removed from this movie and there would have been no difference. The movie's characters are just forgettable. There's an entire side plot with Harley Quinn wanting to be with Joker, who, by the way, is the worst Joker I have ever seen. That's the only interesting dynamic of the movie, and it's true to the comics, which, however, Joker does like Harley Quinn here, which feels weird, considering that Joker absolutely wanted Harley Quinn dead in the ground, at least from the animated series, from what I remember. And I think, since this movie, Margot Robbie has definitely mastered the art of the character. But in this movie, she just feels like a bimbo whore you'd find on the street at 7-Eleven, pretty much. And yeah, she is pretty entertaining in this movie, but I like her better when she's in Birds of Prey, which I will review next, and in the Suicide Squad. Here, it's obvious she's written by a man. And yeah. And for Killer Croc, who was another character I was excited to see in this movie, they basically made him, yo, he's your boy Tyrone. You know what white people, what a white 12-year-old kid would think of when they hear big black man, pretty much. And they actually did make a joke in the Lego movie when Killer Croc activates the bomb. He's like, I did something, which I actually believe that's a little nod to this movie. Captain Boomerang, I believe, was a decent part of the movie, but he only does one thing, really, and that's get Slipknot killed, who, by the way, only reason he's in this movie is just so he's killed. That's stupid. El Diablo, I think, is actually one of the better parts of the movie. The whole story was that he got mad and he killed his family out of anger. And he doesn't want to use his powers because he thinks that when he uses powers, he hurts people. And it leads to the big moment when he actually does, when he turns into a demon and fights the brother of the witch, who I completely forgot the name of. I think he's a decent part of the movie. Now, for the soundtrack, don't get me wrong, I actually did like a lot of the music, but it felt like the movie, they just opened Spotify and grabbed a bunch of rap artists and got them to either make a song for the movie or just get a song for the movie, and it's at the worst timing too. Why the Fortunate Son for Killer Croc? That song is about Vietnam. And this movie just has tons of writing and continuity issues and just a lot of shit that contradicts it. Why would an archaeologist break an ancient statue? Why would she do that? And it was mentioned that El Diablo started a fight with some people, but we see other people was fighting and he wasn't involved. And for the final battle with the witch, she doesn't get harmed when Katana uses her katana. Ha, katana. But when Harley Quinn uses it, it's alright. Amanda Waller, she's pretty interesting, and the movie doesn't seem to understand its characters that well. It doesn't really seem to understand Batman that well. His parents were murdered in an alleyway. Why would he attack Will Smith Deadshot in the alleyway in front of his daughter? Where, when he was a kid, he saw his parents get attacked in an alleyway. So it just doesn't add up. It really does not. Also, the Flash is in this movie. I forgot to mention that. The Joker in this movie feels like he's just some emo rapper who just cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. That's pretty much just what it feels like. And I really hate to admit it, but honestly, I think Will Smith in this movie did not do good. He just doesn't know how to play a cold-hearted gangster. Pretty much. There's a lot to be said about this movie. The writing is horrible. The movie is a boring slog to get through. It's around 2 hours. It's around 2 hours, and most of the movie is just shooting bad guys. And the soundtrack just felt like going to a music shop and see what they have. It was really, really terrible. And it's a shame. This is the first time. This is how the Suicide Squad was treated for the first time. I'm gonna give Suicide Squad a 2 out of 10. The movie is genuine garbage. If James Gunn had directed this movie, it would have been a lot better. Like, a lot better. Well, that's it for today's review, everybody. If you guys did enjoy this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and next time I'm going to be taking a look at Birds of Prey. Now, stay safe, everybody.